Hey guys, I'm Pierre from Can Am Spyders.com and welcome to the Spyder shop. In today's video, we're going to be doing the installation of our ultimate fog lights for your F3 Can Am Spyder. So once you've unboxed your kit, it's going to look something like this. The first thing that we're going to work on is installing these brackets here. So you're going to need these two little bags right there, these brackets and the bushings that are right here, and that's what we're going to start off with. If you want, we've already included an Allen key in there. It is a 532, just like this one right here. So this is what you're going to need to get started. So we're going to be installing two brackets per side. Each bracket set, you're going to need four things. You're going to need this one and this one, and in the bushing, the rubber bushings that you have, you're going to need one of the bigger ones and one of the smaller ones. To work on this project, if you can get your Can Am Spyder and lift it up the ground, whether it's 12 inches, 14 or 20 inches, the higher the better. It's just easier to work on those front tables where we're going to be doing the installation. The two brackets that we're going to be installing on this table, and we call it the A-arm here, is going to be on this side and this side. And you're going to need to go to the extreme left and the extreme right. So you've got the welds that you can see right here, and you have another weld here. So that bracket is going to be right against and a little bit on top of that weld. Now, if you don't go all the way, you're going to miss out on room. This is a really tight fit, so you really need to push the bracket. Once you make sure that it's nice and secure, you want it all the way to the side on both sides. This is how it's going to go together. You're going to take this piece right here like that. You're going to put the thin, this is the smaller one, this is the thicker one. See the difference there? So we're going to be putting this one on the back side with this piece here. So that goes, you simply insert it and make sure that it's flush on all sides. You're going to take the other bracket, you're going to take the other bushing, the thicker one, you're simply going to insert it as well, just like that, and make sure that it's flush everywhere. So the bracket here is going to go on the front side, and we want this to be on top, not on the bottom, but on top like this. So all you have to do is take this bracket, go on the inside, just this way, take the bracket here, hold them both together, and those screws that were provided with the Allen key, don't forget to use this little lock washer and simply insert it from the back side towards the front. One trick to do the installation, you see this, I can still move it around, but instead of trying to work this way, just flip it all the way forward until you get one screw started here and the other one on the other side. And as you've got everything that's holding on, then it's a lot easier to just switch it back, push it to the side, and secure it. If you want to make sure that the bracket is all the way against the side, I have one of these plastic mallets here, like a little hammer, and you can just gently come to the side there and just tap on it and just make sure that it's all the way to the left side. So I've got my other bracket on, it's a little bit loose, so I'm going to tap it to the right hand side to make sure that it's all the way across. So before doing anything else on that side, we're going to do the same thing on the right hand side. To do all this work, since it's a tight area, and like I told you, it is a tight fit, you really have to make sure that those brackets are all the way and they go above and almost a little bit, well, they actually go on the welds, all right? If you're not on the welds, if you're on the inside, it's going to be a tight fit. You're going to have to redo a little bit of the work. You have to go back and undo them and push them. So make sure you go on the welds on each side. If you have one of these small ratchets that you can put your 532 bit on the end, that's going to be key to having a good job nice and easy. So we're going to be installing these little brackets, okay, right here and right there. We're going to be, see how this goes, you can have it going backwards or forward. I want it to go forward. So this is going to be here just like that, and that goes to the outside. So you're going to be using the longer bolts that have been provided. You're going to need a 10 millimeter for that, and you have also a lock nut. Once again, you want to make it tight, but not too tight, so you can just move it a little bit to get some play later on. Go ahead and do the other 3. So it's time to install the light right now, since you've got your both brackets there. So the way it's going to go is this way. You want the wire on the inside. Now see the little hole that's right here? This is where the wire is going to go in. So simply drop in the wire, line up your light, and then you're going to be using this small screws that we've provided, and again it is a 532 Allen key, and that's going to go right on the sides right there. So install the light, and then we're going to go ahead and put in the screws. So looking straight underneath the Can Am Spyder right now, we're going to be running, you got one wire right here, okay, and we've got the other one on the other side right there. So we need to join these 2 wires together before we start going upwards into the Can Am Spyder. And we're actually, okay, so left hand side here, right hand side here. We want to go on the left hand side, go up towards where there's a utility panel, and there's the Can Am customer wire accessory wiring right underneath the handlebars, and that's where we need to go. So let's start off by joining these 2 wires together before we start going up. To do that, we're going to need to remove these 2 panels right here. You're going to have a couple of push pins. You've got 1, 2, 3, and then you've got a torque 30 screw right here. Let me turn this around here. All right here you got a torque 30 screw. On the other side, same thing. We got 1 here, 2, 3, and on the side here you got another torque 30. So go ahead and remove those 4 things on both sides and take off those 2 panels. So grab the harness that we gave you. I want you to separate these 2 parts here to make it easier for you to work. So you got a little white switch here. Just go ahead and pull that off. This will leave you with the switch. Put that to the side for now. The way you're going to work with this wire is that it's like a Y junction. All right, so you've got the part, this part here, okay? That's got the relay switch here, okay, and the fuse right there. That you want that to be on that side of the bike, so on the left hand side, and that's going to leave you with this part here that you're going to plug into here, and this is going to give you enough wire to go plug into the other light, okay, not the other way around, because we're working on the left hand side of the bike for the switch, so that's where we want the wire to go up. So you want this part, as I'm standing in front of the bike here, like this, so this part on that side and that part on that side. On the Can Am Spyder, on the light on this side, you've got a red and black wire. Guess what? You've got a red and black wire on this side. So pretty simple, right? So we gave you some plugs there. You're simply going to put those on the red and black wire there, and you're going to plug them in here. And the same thing on the other side. Guess what? You got another black and red wire. Same thing on that side. So you're going to put in those little clips. You're going to plug them into here. Why we didn't put the clips in first? Remember when we ran the wire in that little hole inside there? That's why we couldn't put the clips already, because the wire wouldn't have fit in the hole. So that's the reason why. To be able to put those little clips, and this is what I'm talking about, the little blue one like this, you're going to need a pair of pliers like this one here. See with that there? So you're going to be putting in your wire that's exposed in here in the middle part. And once the wire touches the middle part, you're going to come in here like this. And you're going to squeeze, so then it's there and it can't go anywhere. Originally, this is how much wire you have exposed, and this is how much I've exposed. So if you feel this is a little, not enough for you to be able to do a good job and get the wiring in there, then just go ahead and get your pliers. This is nerve-wracking for me. Just go ahead and take a little bit more off. We're going to be fishing this part okay, of the wire. So we're going to start from there. We're going to fish it through the bike to this side so we can hook it up on this side over here. So get yourself something so you can fish. I've got this long zip tie here, and I've got some electrical tape. That's going to do the job just fine. So just trying to show you where I went. So this is the wire we have coming from the light. It's going to be your reference point right here, okay? So you got the reference points right here. You're going to go above that. See, my wire is here like that. And then I'm coming out on this side right here. So this is the horn that you have. So as a reference, you see my wire there? It's shining with the light. This is where you're coming out. So I want you to hook up the wires on both sides, on this side and then on this side. And then we'll worry about, making everything nice and neat. And that's the reason I want you to take off the panel, because if you don't take off the panel, you're not going to see exactly where your wires go and where you should be putting some zip ties to make sure that you don't have any loose on the wires and they're not going to go anywhere, okay? So go ahead and plug them in, and then we'll just look around and see where we can put some zip ties to make it nice and neat and secure on both sides before we start going up on this side here, okay? Do I really have to tell you? Red with red and black with black. You got it? You got it. Don't forget to get your electrical tape and around the junction that you have here exposed. Go crazy with the electrical tape so no water gets in there. I found myself some split loom. I think you call that in English. It's this little plastic tubing that you can open up. So I'm actually going to use some of that. I put the electrical tape, put the split loom, and I'll wrap it again, and then some electrical tape. As you can see, it does a beautiful, beautiful job. So I got myself some zip ties. I got a pair of cutters. Your guess is as good as mine. Just go with logic. Try to make it so it doesn't hang anywhere and it's not in the way. And it's always just not too much loose, but enough loose if it needs to move. Okay, this is going to be the tricky part. I'm going to show you where I'm going to push this wire up. All right, so you've got your bracket here, right? Your light is there. You got the junction here, and you got the whole wire is right here, right? So see that there? It's right there. Now we have to push it upwards. Now you're going to watch my hand and where it goes, right? So this is your reference points right here. You see that with all the wires there? I'm pushing my hand right up top. I'm going up about 6 inches. Then I'm going to go in just a little bit. And then I'm going to keep going up. And this is where you're fishing your wire. All right? I don't know if you can see my fingers there. Yeah, you see my fingers right there? Right here. This is where you need to go. This is where we're going to get power. See this panel right here? So we're going to remove that panel. Inside that panel, we're going to be finding a customer accessory wiring. This is where we're going to plug in. Not difficult to be able to remove this panel. It's only this little knob here that you need to turn clockwise. All right, so we're going to look inside. And what we're looking for is a little white tag that's going to say customer accessories. I think that might be it here. Yeah, you see that? Customer accessory. So that's the tag, that's the wire that we need to get out of there so we can hook up our power. So we're going to need to identify the zip ties that you're going to need to cut to be able to pull on that wire so you can, bring it out here so we can work on it. So I'm going to point to the zip tie that you're going to need to cut. For me, it's right here. You see that one there? Nice and shiny there. It's a tiny one. So, and the wire is right on top of there. So we're going to cut that. Probably with a pair of pliers if I can get them in there. If not, I'm going to use a utility knife. I'm going to be really careful, but I would rather use a pair of pliers. Cut that and be able to pull on that wire. So I was able to get it out. I've got about, let's say, about 6-7 inches to work with. It's not much, but it's just enough room so we can go ahead and do our connection right here. This is where the wire is right now. Remember, we pushed it up, we grabbed it, this is where we left it. So now we got to be able to get it through here. Okay, and come out through there. So all you need to do is push it up, grab it, pull it out. For this part, you're going to need a little bit of patience. You've actually got to take off the electrical tape on this part here, and then you're going to be exposing 2 wires. So go ahead and remove that electrical tape. A little trick to be able to help you out if you want to cut this electrical tape. You've got a pair of these little scissors here. They're actually manicured scissors. So if you're in this and your other half has got a pair like this in the bathroom somewhere where when she does a manicure, you go in, you get it, you don't tell nobody. It's our secret, I won't tell nobody. You go in there and this works perfect. You get in there, you can cut. And then you can squeeze it in there and you cut. And then if you want to clean them good, you get some rubbing alcohol. Get your rubbing alcohol clicking. And you put them back. Shh, don't tell anybody. So now that we've exposed the wires, you've got one that's black. That's of course your negative. And then you got one that's purple and yellow. And that's your positive. You've got a positive and negative, you've got the red that's still positive and black negative. So black with black and purple with red. You won't need these here. You can, it depends which way you want to do it. Do you want to weld these together? Do you want to, splice them open and then tape them? Or again, do you want to maybe just tap in with them, those little blue clips there, the Y junctions? That's up to you. You can choose whichever way you want, just as long as you put red with purple, black with black. Alright, so before going any further, you want to make sure that everything works well. And we got to have the engine running because we're on the accessory. So we got power, we got the lights on the wall, everything is good. It's the home stretch, we're almost there. All we have to do is install that switch. Now, you can do it 2 ways. You can actually do it on the panel here if and only if these 2 are taken up. See that over here? Now he's already got a USB port here. It's slightly damaged. He said he was going to replace it, but that leaves us with that hole right here on this side here. All right, so this is where I'm going to go and put my switch right now. So that's all we have to do. We'll get the switch from there to there. We'll get that done, and then that's it. We're done. All right, so we're going to need to turn this counterclockwise. See as it turns, and when it does, you're actually able to lift it up. Once you've removed that, you can actually pull on the plastic right now. Now this is the wire for the fog lights that are already in place, so you're simply going to remove that. To be able to remove this, all you have to do is press down here. There's a little clip right next to the wires. Press down and pull. Simply put it back and then push down the wire and put a zip tie somewhere around there so it doesn't fall down. Take the wire again that you tried your switch with, unplug it. The round on the plastic here is slightly too small, okay? So you're going to need to take a drill and make it just a little bit larger. See how you've got the inner edge and the outer edge. Not quite to the outer edge, just take off a little bit. So I used a drill bit, like you just saw, 13/16. 13/16 made the perfect hole. Now all you have to do is push this down, and with your other hand, grab it and pull it out. So we're going to put electrical tape, we're going to wrap everything up nice and neat, make a nice little ball with the excess wires that we have, and leave it in that, underneath that panel right there where we did the electrical, and put those panels back underneath the Can Am Spyder, and we're done. putting everything back together and making everything nice down here, one thing I think you want to do is you want to make accessible that customer accessory circuit. Now that we've found it, you want it to be visible for future references for yourself or somebody else. And I actually made 2 bundles with this, so it would fit in nicely and be easy to move out the way if there was anything else. And I did put a couple of zip ties. That wire that came out up through there, I put a couple of zip ties there so it wouldn't fall back down. I hope you enjoyed the installation video for the ultimate fog lights for F3 Can Am Spyder. It's not a hard project. It just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of patience, but it's not difficult. So if you want to watch the demonstration that I did on the road, just wait at the end of this video. There'll be another video there. You can click on that and see these fog lights in action. Once again, thank you very much for following us. I appreciate everything that you do. Please subscribe and please leave a comment and leave a thumbs up if you like what we do. Thank you very much, guys. My name is Pierre. I'm out.